Hello there, Capricorns. Welcome to your weekly reading. I'm not going to be able to December. I wish you so much prosperity. I know that this year has been very, very, very rough, and I feel so bad, but I know it has been really, really rough. Saturn is kicking your butt. And I feel for many of you, this is a major, major pivotal turning point in your life where you are forced to grow up, where you are forced to, deal with things, and you're forced to kind of like maintain your composure. That's what it feels like. It's all like it seems to me like everything around you could be this whirlwind of activities, and it's really important for you to just get through the day, go through the motions, one day at a time, one foot forward, and things like that. So I definitely feel like your grace, your inability to let things frustrate you. I feel like that's really going to help you navigate, the rest of this year. When I was shuffling the cards, what I saw was I don't know if any of you are familiar with that movie Fantasia. It's a Disney movie. It's the original Fantasia. I believe it came out in the 90s. But there was this scene after the rain. There's this goddess. She's like the rainbow goddess. And she glides across the sky, and her dress is made up of all the colors of the rainbow. And she glides across the sky after a really, really stormy, violent rainstorm. And she kind of like goes over the sky in an arch, and she forms the rainbow, and the rainbow remains in the sky. And that's what it feels like to me. As we round out this year, many of you are at a point where I feel like, things have been really rough. You've had a lot of responsibilities imposed upon you. And I feel for many of you, you were playing educator, you were playing caretaker, you were playing the role of almost like a surrogate mother or father to somebody that is significantly younger, or, they could be biologically younger, or they could just be inexperienced in some capacity. And you had to, show the way for another person. And so it forced you to be responsible. It forced you to, know what you're talking about before you relay information or give out information to this person. So you had to like keep yourself in check. You had to be responsible. You had to do your due diligence to make sure that the information you're given is correct, or you're giving to other people is correct. You also had to make sure that you're on your A game, that you're on top of things, taking care of responsibilities. So what I feel though is, as we round out this year, many of you are at a point to offer. Many of you are very, very hopeful, kind of like that rainbow at the end of a very, very violent time period where there's a lot of winds, a lot of turbulence, a lot of rain, and just, like a very unsettled environment. Okay, so it's almost like rounding out this year, we're very hopeful for the next, and we're more hopeful that we're going to do things differently. We know what works and we know what doesn't. We know who's still around and we know who's no longer in the picture, and we also know what we're capable of, because Saturn is a taskmaster. It forces you to grow up. It forces you to kind of like face your fear. It's almost a planet of karma as well. So whatever was not wrapped up before, I feel like, there was this cyclical pattern about things reemerging from your past that you had to deal with. For some of you guys, this is sort of like something that you needed to take care of, because it boosts your career. It boosts your social standing, professional standing. You had to do it. So for some of you, it could be like going back to get that certificate, going back to school to get that diploma, going back to, do some type of a training. And then for others, it's like dealing with karmic issues when it comes to, I honestly feel for many of you, you guys are so stoic you handle a lot, but you never complain, you never whine, you take it in great strides. And I almost feel like, in a way, it is so refreshing to see, a sign that is so strong and able to not buckle under pressure. But at the same time, I almost feel like you're wound a little bit too tight this year. And you need to find that emotional outlet. Okay, you need to find people to confide in. I'm sure you are more than capable of handling everything on your own, but I also feel like a little bit of your emotional needs, being able to vent to another person, being able to voice your frustration. I feel like you hold a lot of stuff in, and it's important to release, okay? And it's important to also tell yourself, I'm only human, I make mistakes, and I have to forgive myself for these mistakes, okay? Acknowledging it, and even saying that little sentence to yourself, I'm only human, I'm going to make mistakes, and it's okay, I forgive myself. I feel like it's going to take you a long way, because it allows you to acknowledge what went wrong, and it allows you to also come to the realization that you don't need to be so hard on yourself. Okay, so what I am seeing in the spread is I almost feel like, from the outsider's perspective, people around you, family, friends, lovers, co-workers, everybody around you, they see you as a pillar of strength and stability. And, rightfully so. They never see you frustrated. They never see you like angry, upset, or, emotionally irrational. They never see you break down in tears. They never see you chastising somebody, or blowing up at another person because you're frustrated with them. They see someone who's very solid, who's very emotionally stable, who is very competent, able to take care of everything, the little and the big things. And they also see you as someone who is like very live and let live, very chill, but at the same time you get things done. And people around you are very amazed by your capabilities to keep all the balls in the air, to keep all the discs spinning, to keep all your responsibilities, like to tackle all your responsibilities, but at the same time, very laid back. And they don't know where your inner strength comes from. They don't know, they don't understand, and they wish they knew. They wish they could unlock that secret so that they can do it for themselves. So the way that you are coming across here, we have the Queen of Pentacles, very financially stable. And this is a card about generosity as well. And I do have the Six of Pentacles. But this is a queen that is very abundant. So this is your energy. You are very, very abundant. She's holding on to a lot of fruit. And whenever I see food, this is somebody that nurtures, loves, and takes care of other people. They take care of other people's physical needs, okay? So like if you have a friend over, you're like, do you want something to drink? Let me cook you something. So you are somebody that, you like to share food, you like to share conversation, you like to make other people comfortable. And in a way, you like people to come to your home and to be able to, share your environment with them. So your doors are always open. So if you have an office, your door's always open. Coworkers can come in, pick your brain, and then leave. And I feel like, the environment that you're in, the household, the wherever you live, it seems like, there's no shortage of food. Okay. So I don't feel people living in abject poverty, and I don't feel like you're lacking anything. So people see you as someone who is very resourceful, and your home is just a really safe haven for others to come to. Your home, your office, wherever it is that you consider, like your space, it's always open and available to other people. You yourself, with the Empress, you're always open and available to other people. This is kind of like, being, I feel like career-wise, you guys are in a position where you're able to listen to other people's problems and you're able to give them a solution. So I don't feel like a therapist vibe, but I definitely feel like somebody who is, it's almost like the work that you're doing, you can do it blindfolded. You're at a point where you know what you're doing. You don't have to ask your supervisors about, am I doing this right? You're very sure about what you're doing, and you, in a way, have mastered the work that you do. And so with family members, they also see this about you. They see you as someone who's very generous. You're able to give gifts, you're able to give advice, you're able to give expertise. And, honestly, they feel, some of you, you might have been the one that has the most success in your family. So for some of you, you might have had like the highest level of educational attainment. So for example, if your parents, finish high school, and all your siblings tried to go to college, and for whatever reason life, things just didn't align. They might have gotten married, and then their educational, attainment went on the wayside. But I feel like for many of you, your family members look at you as the person that has made it, the person that is, the most successful, the person that is kind of like, we all have those siblings that are like the black sheep of the family. But I feel like the people in your family, they see you as someone who's made it. Okay, they see you as someone who's successful, and there's some type of a pride associated with that too. And I feel like, it really boosts your self-confidence being around family members. But at the same time, I feel for many of you, you want to be the positive role model. You want to encourage others. You want to provide others with advice and the tools necessary so that they can exceed you. And you could be doing this to your extended family members. So this could be little brothers or sisters. You're trying to encourage them to get to where you are. You're trying to encourage them to stay in school. You're trying to lead them and play a mentor to them about what career track to take so that they are financially sound. And if you have, younger like significantly younger siblings or nieces and nephews, and even your own child, you're grooming them, you're trying to encourage them. And I definitely feel you're giving their parents practical advice as to how to raise them. Not that you're stepping on anybody's toes, but I feel like your words have a lot of weight. Your advice, your counsel has a lot of weight, okay? And I feel like you're very well regarded and respected in your family unit and in your work environment. What I do feel for many of you is there is an escalation when it comes to your financial earnings. So I don't know if many of you are getting like a pay increase, if you're getting some type of a bonus, because we have a financial windfall coming into the picture. So this is the Six of Pentacles, generosity coming through from an institution. So for some of you, this could be, financial aid coming through from a financial institution. This can also be if you're working in some type of if you're working in an institution, especially, federal, state, local, citywide, countywide, whatever the capacity you're working in, company, even private sector, there is a financial windfall. And I feel like for some of you, it could be bonuses. It could also be like a pay increase. And it could also be, just like some type of a royalty check coming out to you. And I feel for some of you, there's some type of a mystery associated with it. So you might not know how much it is. They might have told you, yeah, you're getting a bonus, but you might not know how much it is. You might be kept in the dark, going to exceed your expectation. So for example, if you have been thinking, maybe 4,000 bonus, it might be 6,000. So I feel like it is going to exceed your expectation. And it is something that it's something that is going to be a lot more than you anticipated. Okay. What I'm also feeling as well is I feel like there's somebody in your life that is, I'm sensing almost like you watch them grow up. What I feel though is I don't see so much a children vibe. I just feel like you watch them start out with like a lot of inexperience. You know, they don't know what they were doing, and day after day, you guided them, you mentor them, you provided direction for them, you provided counsel. And I definitely feel like, you know, this was your own personal project. And you worked really, really, really hard at it. And now they have flown the nest. That's what it feels like to me. Now their life is really taking off. Now they're like at the peak of their career. And there's definitely this sense of, you know, maternal, paternal pride. Even if they're not your child, I feel like it's not a child. I feel for many of you, this could be a birth of a project. Like you worked really hard at it and you built it from the ground up slowly, slowly, slowly. And, you know, it gained traction, it gained momentum. You kind of like, uh, when things culminate and you're able to, you know, reap what you sow. And I feel like it's a really, really financially lucrative time, and it's also a really, really good sense of like closure because you spent a lot of time on it. You nurtured it from the ground up, and I feel like it's going to exceed your expectations. Okay. For some of you, I feel like it's somebody that you watch grow, like you um, build up their self-confidence. You taught them everything that you know. And then for others, it's like birthing um, a new project. Like it could be self-employment. It could be, you know, some type of hobby that you're doing, and it's really starting to take off. Okay. What I do feel overall is when it comes to family, um, there are worries. There are worries, and I feel like it's deep rooted worries. I don't see health issues. I don't see health issues. I don't see family drama. I do see you saying a lot of prayers for your family. I do see you worried about them, and I see a lot of people. I see you worried about, you know, I want their future to look great. I want them to be okay. I don't know how that's possible, but so the train of thought that I'm hearing, okay, is Capricorn, you're praying that I want my family to be okay. I want them to, you know, take care of each other. I want them to succeed. I want everyone to make a lot of money. I want everyone to be financially stable. I don't know how that's possible, but that's what I really truly want for them because they're really good people. So at the bottom, at the foundational level, you have like a lot of good people in your family, but you're worried about their financial future. They could be so generous where they give the shirt off their back and they don't really leave a lot to themselves. They could also be really, really poor financial manager, not because they're squandering their wealth or anything like that, but because they're lacking in the same sense of financial savviness that you have. Okay, so I do see a lot of worries when it comes to family, and I feel for some of you, mom and dad. And mom and dad, they see you as, you know, the person that has made it. They don't see you as the black sheep of the family. They see you as the most successful child. They're so proud of you, and they don't expect you to, you know, make a lot of money, buy them a home, buy them a nice car, or even ask them to move in and live with you so you can take care of them. They don't even expect that from you. They want you to be okay. They want you to be happy. They want you to be successful. You have some really strong parents for many of you. Like they're either very, very stubborn or they are very strong. Like I do feel like almost this sense of it's almost, it feels to me almost like a royal lineage. Okay, what I have here is the Empress, and I also have the Emperor. And what this denotes to me is it's family that are, you know, traditional family, like gender roles when it comes to mom and dad, okay? One person takes care of the home and the children, and the other person brings home the money. But I also feel there is a very, it's like a situation that works really well. And it almost harkens back to, a different generation, a different time, a different time period, or a different type of agreement where it works out between two people because they embody the true gender roles. But I also feel, physically they're very strong. They could be just very strong physically. They come from some type of a royal lineage, or they have really good genes where there's a sense of like longevity. So they might live, until their 90s. So I definitely feel really strong parents that are physically strong and mentally strong. So they might not suffer from, degenerative diseases. So you come from really good genes, and I do see like a really pure gene pool where you don't have these, medical conditions or family history with a lot of medical conditions. Okay, and as a result of that, your parents they're going to live a very very long life, and they don't expect you to take care of them. You want to, you so want to, because you're very very, very loyal. And I do see you worrying about them. And I do see you're not worried about their health. You're worried about your family's financial future. You're worried about your siblings. You're worried about your parents. And I feel almost like it's definitely been a major, like the worries, the fact that you want them to be well, the fact that you want to be able to take care of them. For many of you, it's almost like that was what drove you to succeed in life. That was what really drove you to get that degree, to progress, to, seek out that job, seek out that new job, seek out the job that pays more, and to kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone so that you can earn a lot more, so that you can take care of the people that you love. Okay. For those of you who are, in relationship, your relationships are very, very stable. I do feel here with the Empress and the Emperor, this is a match made in heaven. This is sort of like one person takes care of one aspect, the other person takes care of another. So you guys are seen as a power couple. You generate a lot of money, you generate a lot of respect. People see the two of you and they're like, wow, that's a really good fit. The Empress and the Emperor, it's a very, very good fit. Okay, it's almost like a karmic, destined type of a relationship. You guys complement each other very, very well as well. So you don't even need to be, in a heterosexual relationship. If you are in a stable relationship, if you have somebody that you call your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife or your significant other, whatever the situation is, you guys are seen as a power couple. And between the two of you, I do see property. I do see a lot of money, pooled resources. And I also feel like, fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo for some of you in a relationship with them, or an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. But either way, your partner is reaching a point of success. And your partner has, for some of you, your partner has a lot more money than you, or they make a lot more money than you, and that's fine. For those of you who are in a relationship where your partner is not making a lot of money, they're on their way, they're catching up. And, there's nothing wrong with that. But I definitely feel like, they're on their way. Their career is blossoming. And I feel like being with you has really inspired them as well. For those who are single, I do feel, many of you are very, very occupied with your finances. You're very occupied with your career. You're very occupied as well with just the maintenance that you have to do in your own life. And so this year hasn't been great when it comes to dating, but I definitely feel, I don't know why, but like this leaps and bounds when it comes to your financial earnings, when it comes to your status. I definitely see opportunities for vertical movement when it comes to your professional life. Okay. I feel like next year is definitely going to be it's going to be a very important year. All right. That's what I have for you guys. And the other thing that I want to mention as well, when I saw that rainbow, I was thinking about, inclusion. Okay, including people from all walks of life, including people with all sexual orientation, including people with, from every angle of the world. So I definitely feel you guys are just very, very, very inclusive. You don't have prejudices. You accept people as people. And I feel like it's this beautiful energy about live and let live. It's this beautiful energy about, you don't care if someone comes in, if it's a stranger, you don't care about the gossips and the rumors going around. You take everybody at face value, and you assess people based on your own, I guess, like judgment. And I feel like that is one of the most beautiful thing ever, that you don't let these preconceived notions, or you don't let other people's words or rumors or gossip taint your judgment of another person. And because of that, you're able to look at people and see the good and the bad, but you see the value in people. And you're very understanding that we are all humans, we all make mistakes. And so I want you to extend that as well to yourself. Extend that mantra to yourself. I am only human. I make mistakes, and it's okay. All right. So be kind. You're very kind to others, but you need to also be very kind to yourself, and don't put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect. Okay. We're heading into a really good year, Capricorns. I do wish you guys all the best. You guys are one of my favorite signs, and I just know that things are going to look up, okay? The rainbow is coming out. It's the end of the rain, and you guys are going to